just like to start and mention that we are hosting this event on the banks of the Gura Road, and I would like to acknowledge that this is the land of the Bunwurrung and Wurundjeri people of the Kulin Nation, who are the traditional custodians of the land. I pay my respects to their elders, past and present, and extend this same respect to Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islander peoples here today. With that, we can start Survivor Game Jam. Since this is a very tight game jam, like we have very little time, we'll start off by picking a theme for this game jam. We have 3 topics here, as you can see in the slides, and how we'll vote for them is through all of you making as much noise for the topic you'd like these 3 teams to work on today. We'll start off with spacebar only. If you'd like this topic to be what they work on, please scream as loud as you can, and I'll do this for all 3 topics. So, spacebar only.
Yeah! Wait, so we're not the spacebar only?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Life is dangerous. Okay. Last one, parasite.
Yeah! Parasite!
Light is dangerous? Parasite?
Yeah!
Spacebar only! Parasite is cool. Alright, good luck, teams. Yes. You have an hour to make a game. Yes, please start.
How long are you in the room for?
An hour.
Basically until they kick us out. Cool, alright, so we'll actually do some introduction now and get the underway. So hello everyone, thank you so much for joining us today on the first day of PAX. How great is it to be back in person at PAX, like with people, and we're not all just in front of our screens. It's amazing. My name's Marty, I'm one of the lead developers at, Studios at Steed Games. We're a game studio and consultancy based up in Sydney. And is my amazing co-host today, who's actually based in Melbourne, but obviously both from Steed Games. We'll play a little video just to, while the team sort of get themselves all set up, just to give you an idea of what we do as a studio.
Woo!
That means a lot to me. I made that video. Because I didn't realize it was that long. Yeah, so that's Steed Games. We recently rebranded. That's why there's Noble Studios there as well. That's what we were before this. Marty actually skipped forward. I think we should probably explain what the hell Survivor Game Jam 2.0 is. So, in a summary, Survival Game Jam 2.0 is a 1-hour, very hectic, chaotic game jam where we are pitting these 3 teams together again for the topic Parasite. Throughout this game jam, you can ask us any questions. You can use hashtag Survival Game Jam over on Twitter. We'll be checking them over here. So be sure to tag us, tell us what you'd like to know about the game jam process, or if you'd like to give the teams prompts or even more curveballs in their entire process. Feel free to.
Can I ask some questions?
Yeah.
So it's very important to do market research when you make a game. So I'd love to know, who do you think is the biggest parasite in the universe?
Landlords! Landlords!
Landlords. That's really funny. I also made a game about that.
Musk.
Anyway, sorry.
Musk.
I thought someone would say Elon Musk. Any other large parasites?
Children.
Sorry?
Children.
Children. That is
You
actually
deserve a pin for that.
Okay. So, Trump.
Good one.
We have some blood in our game. Whose blood is this? Any ideas? I'm not sure whose blood this is. Just wondering if anybody had any suggestions.
Where's this going?
Theodore Roosevelt.
Thanks for all those suggestions. I'm sure they'll take it into consideration.
Oh my god, yes.
Yeah, so that's what Survivor Game Jam is, and it's 2.0 because it's our second time doing this at PAX. Our first time was back in 2019. And this time, just to even the playing field slightly, I've introduced a new rule to Survivor Game Jam. Besides prompts from the audience, the teams will have one request they can make of the audience when we go around introducing all of you. So, yes. Anything you want. Let's continue, I think. Next. Yeah, so that's us. We've already spoken about ourselves quite a bit, so I'll skip over. And
Yeah.
So, just out of curiosity, can I just get like a show of hands how many game developers are in the room? Okay, cool, good stuff. So, game jams are quite common in the game industry. They're a really fun opportunity for us to try new things, try new engines, basically experiment and play around with things we may not get the chance to do in our regular jobs, basically. Quite often, they'll have obviously interesting topics that sort of encourage people to try different themes, different games. And the cool thing with all the game jams is it's a great opportunity to work with different teams as well. If you have a chance, there's Global Game Jam, which is held usually every January, I believe. It's usually actually over the long weekend, where teams from all over the world come together to make a bunch of really cool games. I'd also give a huge shout out. There's actually a multiplayer game jam being run at the moment with Global Game Jam and Photon, who's a networking stack for really cool multiplayer games. That's running online at the moment as well. So we'll probably get into it. We'll introduce our first team, which is Team DragonBear Studios, just here in the middle. Great big round of applause for DragonBear. I'll let you guys introduce yourself, like.
Hello, my name is Pauline Sammy. I'm the creative director of DragonBear Studios. I'm also not really an artist, so this is going to be an interesting creation of art. So my art style I'm going to go for is like really bad art.
Hey, Pauline, do you want to turn your laptop around and show what you've got so far?
Very well, give me 1 second.
No touch-ups.
Picasso! Picasso!
Thank you. And I'll introduce Dan. Go on. Or shall I do it?
No, I'll do it.
Good.
Hey, I'm Dan. I'm the lead programmer at DragonBear Studios, and I have no experience in game jams, so it's gonna be fun.
That's not true. Dan made a game about a crab. Yeah, this giant crab with like soap opera metal, and it went around eating other crabs. I remember.
That was fun. That was a time. There's going to be a time as well. Yeah, great to be here.
Yep, thank you.
So there's a little game down in the indie section on the show floor at the moment called Enchanted. Would you guys like to tell us about that?
Oh, sure. So Enchanted is a cooperative, magical, in-running game where, as you were just talking about, you have to defeat your evil landlord wizard by being amazing at running an inn. And it's actually set in like Fantasy Australia. So yeah, go check it out. It's downstairs or on Steam as well.
So it could be wishlisted
Yes,
on
of course.
Steam.
Which listed on Steam, please do.
All right. Up next, we have the reigning, defending, undisputed champions from Survivor Game Jam 1, Team Chaos Theory Games. They bought their own trophy.
We got custom made.
It doesn't say tennis camp on there at all.
It definitely doesn't.
Would you like to introduce yourselves and tell us a bit about Chaos Theory?
Sure, I'm Nico King. I'm one of the co-founders of Chaos Theory Games. We're a studio up in Sydney that specialises in creating transformational games, so games that improve people's lives or change the world for the better in some way. Particularly interested in games for environmental conservation and games that people like and enjoy.
And managing director of Chaos Theory, and Nico and I were joking before that the last time we opened Unity was probably at least 6 months ago, so interesting pick for 2 people on the team to be deciding to do this.
Do we have any art we can show?
Sure.
Yes, we do.
Photoshop has been opened.
Using Photoshop, that's like a professional tool.
I used to be an artist once upon a time. So what I'm doing at the moment is just essentially setting up all of the draft images that I'm going to give to James. So we've got a little mosquito here. I'm creating some draft images that I'm going to give to James so he can start programming the game. And then I'm going to work on the final art while he makes the game, and then we can hopefully just replace the images at the end.
Wait, hang on.
That's a theory at least.
Do you mean the games in development don't look exactly the same as the released product?
What?
Hashtag GTS.
Most of the time.
Yeah, okay. Cool. And there's a couple of interesting projects that Chaos Theory has been involved with. You want to have I don't think you guys have seen this slide yet.
Oh, there are a few. Yes, we've got Kangazoo up in the top left, which we did for the Australian government. So a game where you get to go out into Australian national parks and find animals and rescue and rehabilitate them. Do you want to give us a spiel about Jamila?
It's down here as well.
Oh, certainly is. That makes it a lot easier.
Shamila is a project we did. Wait, you did Kangazoo, right?
Yeah.
So I was paying attention to making a
It's
game.
really annoying trying to make a game and then having to talk about random
Very
things.
annoying.
And you guys keep interrupting on the microphone.
Shamila's a game that we created for the United Nations World Food Programme to essentially help train their staff on how to create better policy. So created a game space where they could experiment and learn about communities that they're trying to provide systems for, and make mistakes in a safe environment so that in the real world they don't make those same mistakes. We've got EDU, or Play Ed, down the bottom left. I think it's bottom left. Which is educational platform for kids, and then Seagull TV, which is in Federation Square, which is a cool interactive marketing experience. Wow, yeah.
Yeah, awesome. Just to answer, I can't remember the names. Joe has put the question through. Yes, you will be able to see everyone's screens. As soon as we do the introduction, we're going to hook into everyone's screens with HDMI. So you get to see firsthand what it looks like when Unity crashes.
Coming up.
You can tell how many game devs are in the room because every game dev gave that awkward laugh just then. And finally, the winners of Survivor Game Jam 2.0, Team local Steed Games. Would you guys like to do your introductions?
Just about ourselves.
Yeah.
Hello everyone, I'm Michelle Ocean. I'm the lead developer of Nomos/Noble Steed Games. I've been working in the industry for about 10 years or something, 11 years, and I mostly make art and do exhibitions in Europe, and using games as a medium for art to critique things in the world and to say something and try to engage with people, because I feel like games are uniquely powerful as they are basically an interactive dream that you can make someone else experience, and with that you can give them alien knowledge.
And I'm Grant Solbat. I am a new developer over at Nomos at Noble Steed Games. I'm basically just one of the many, many code monkeys that Marty has under his
Talented code monkeys.
Talented code monkeys, here to say. I've just been making games for a very, very long time. Before Noble Steed, I was basically just making a lot of interactive displays, sort of deals, and a lot of contracting work for this stuff. So a lot of Noble Steed's stuff is kind of my first foray into proper game development-ish things. And yeah, that's me.
Woo!
We've got a couple of projects that Shell and Grant worked on. You guys want to just chat about any of these?
The lamb at the top there was a collaboration with me and a couple of satanic artists in the US where they went into a mine shaft and did a ritual, and then they got me to do like neural net stuff and procedural stuff on it, using the music as input, which was fun. And the Xeno Militia, the Antifa Chronicles, was exhibited in the Athens Biennale last year, and Sonar this year, and is currently in Arles for October Numeric or Fair Monday or whatever. I'm not sure what it's called, but it's in France. This one was really fun. It was a response to Antifa being declared a terrorist organization, so we thought it would be like fun to use the same techniques that like pro-state, like pro-military, games like COD and whatever use like juice and sexiness to make rhetoric, like to basically inject it into people. So we thought we'd like imagine this organized Antifa, the gay Antifa, and what kind of propaganda material they would make. So we made this game where you hunt cops. It has like a Cthulhu monstrosity. It's very sexy, but yeah, I don't know. I want to let people play it because it's fun, but yeah, message me or something else in the link. Yeah.
So I did the one on the right-hand side. Chassis Sim was a kind of sim racer sort of deal. Did a lot of kind of updating that sort of that thing to get into a much more prettier state. You don't want to know what it looked like before this. I also did a bunch of the UI stuff, updated some of the car model, and did a bunch of tooling for all of the artist tools to get it looking like it does. I also did a table of paper, which is a PS5. We've supported it over to all the next-gen platforms, as well as kind of debugged a lot of the current existing problems. As if you've watched any sort of gameplay walkthrough of it, like they all mention the same problems because they're all so obvious. I have no idea how it got through QA until now. But yeah.
If you and a million of your closest friends like to all go buy a table of paper, that would be great. Yeah, so basically we do have the hashtag #SpiderGameJams. We are taking questions up here. We do have microphones in the room as well. If anyone wants to ask any questions of any of our team members, or we do have a roaming microphone going around as well, feel free to just pop your hand up or however we do that. And we're obviously happy to answer questions, and the more we can distract our teams and make this really annoying for them, the merrier. We do also have a bunch of exclusive limited edition pins to give away for questions as well. These are actually from our arcade cabinet beam team, which was actually on the show floor back in 2019. Would have been in 2020, but there wasn't a PAX involved. There was the online PAX in 2020. We did have a question.
Very long
That's a long question. That's like the Twitter limit. Like, come on. That's really a question for all of our teams. Question for all our teams. What do you think is the most fitting landlord fate? The humble guillotine, perhaps cleansing nuclear fire, an apartment building made entirely of flammable cladding that they refuse to fix, or a house filled with black mold?
That's not a question. That's like a prompt and
I got an answer.
suggestions or
No, I was born to answer this question. Personally, I think the greatest fate for a landlord is that they realize the complete and utter error of their ways in life. The way that their entire inner world has been structured off of a fallacy that is used to mask their own insecurity and pointlessness and the hollowness of their existence. And I hope that they find peace and that they grow themselves inside and that they live a happy life and then support others in their own journey to live a happy life.
In Survivor. What if the parasites are calling from inside the house? So, no, would that be? Does anyone
I
have
think it's a reference to the movie. Maybe.
Probably should have watched the movie. All right, so now we get to the fun part where I do this. Let's see whose screen looks interesting at the moment. We've got a lot of code up on the screen. What's that? Right up. Oh, we have a question. Yeah, go for it.
Question: does this look enough like Elon Musk? I was thinking of adding some like emeralds. Yeah? We have to make it green, so then you know that he's wearing emeralds. Yeah? Okay. Thank you.
Actually, for the game devs in the room, play a show of hands, Visual Studio or Writer? Oh, continuous Writer, that's amazing. It's good. Find someone who's a student. I didn't say that. In a room with hundreds of people. Jeff Rex, please. We have a question for, can the developers not use their semicolon keys?
Oh.
Like we have to paste semicolons.
Sure. I mean, or just coding lightly. Actually, it's probably a good time to actually stop for a second and see how all our teams are doing. So, how's everyone feeling at the moment? I'm seeing.
Yeah, that's fine.
Yeah.
We think.
Existential dread.
I'm seeing something on the screen that looks like a picture.
It's
Ish.
I really don't just wait for it to compile. Yeah, that's not.
So when Unity says 999 plus errors, something has gone down.
Can I another poll again? What does Elon Musk, the parasite, eat?
Tweets, that's good.
Lithium.
Wasn't it like wine and sleeping pills or something? Isn't that his thing?
Sorry?
He always tweets about that.
About.
Like wine and sleeping pills is his favorite.
Right.
Which is known to cause brain damage, by the way.
His breakfast snack.
Eats fruity Lexia.
Wine, sleeping.
I just want to like think about all the options. Can you all just list the things, please?
Gasoline.
Any else? Any else?
Child slaves.
Child slaves is good.
Wow. Blood diamonds.
Tweet that.
Blood diamonds. I think that's blood emeralds.
Are we going to get sued for doing this?
Yeah, this kind of borders on like, what's the word, like?
Horror.
Oh.
So it's been great having a job. We will have some hopefully interesting things up on the screen momentarily.
No, I don't off the top of my head, sorry. What's the hashtag again?
Survivor Game Jam. Hashtag Survivor Game Jam.
Well, we do have microphones going around if anyone wants to pop their hand up and ask any questions of any of our devs. Oh, okay. Can the devs simply make all variables non-descriptive incrementing numbers? actually, there's actually a fun way to do this. If you want to just throw some random words out there, we'll make them use those as variable names.
Alfredo.
And they call it green.
God.
Is anyone using green yet?
You cannot use green anymore.
I'm so lucky.
I'm definitely torn and have definitely not at all made it green.
If you want to be really mean, we make them all switch over their IDs to light mode instead of dark mode. That's mean. Even I'm not willing to do that to someone. Unity, Unreal Engine, Godot, all seem popular. How do you pronounce, is it Godot?
Yeah.
Godot, okay, cool. I've been pronouncing it all the time. All seem popular game development. Have the competitors found any practical uses to using other engines such as Forge or Bevy? Do any of our devs have experience in other engines outside of the main ones?
Talk 3D. I use Talk 3D a bit. It's like, I don't know if anyone's heard of it, but it's like kind of like a first-person shooter engine that like Triumph was made in. It's like awful, but it was really fun because it's like this.
Actually, I can take this a little bit as well. There's an engine called Urho 3D, U-R-H-O 3D, completely free open source. It's a really great little engine for prototyping things that you may eventually end up building in Unity. Mostly because it uses very similar physics, very similar code base, but it uses C++ in the back end as opposed to C#. So one of the really great tricks when you're prototyping is use an engine or use something that's in a completely different language to what your production environment will be in. So there's no chance of you just copying and pasting really terrible game jam or prototyping code and making it into production. One of the problems you'll always find, if you ever write code that could end up in production, it will end up in production. In the same way that if you have, say, like a prototype that you give it a name that could end up being the release name, I don't know if Untitled Goose Game may have fallen into that category, it will end up being the name of the game. One of my early mobile games was called Terrible, because you play as a ball and the game was terrible. And it's now live as Terrible. So, yeah, don't name things that can actually become production. But yeah, like definitely look at some of the other smaller, some of like the free open source engines out there. Urho, like I said, in particular, please give it a try, it's really awesome.
Someone also suggested DragonBear Studio. So,
Yeah, GameMaker is really awesome, especially if you're like relatively new to development. It's a really great way to get things up and running super quick. Sound effects are now mandatory. Reports of audience members making weird noises into the microphones.
okay, if you make a weird noise, we'll give you a tip. So that's the reward.
Really? Okay, we'll do this.
That's actually just what we did for the Cult of the Lamb.
Yeah, we got microphones around.
Does someone want to come up and record a snap on my laptop?
Yeah, I don't actually have one without Steam.
Old school
I'll
sound.
take it without Steam in real life.
If you've got Windows, then just voice record it and just make sure that it's short enough.
Do we have one down here?
Please make weird noises.
Whoa! That's good. Yeah.
Also, team, just a heads up, we are halfway through. Actually, one of the big things I've discovered over the past several years, a lot of people working from home, and quite often it's hard sometimes. We forget to stand up, stretch, move around a little bit. So I think it's really important if everyone comes back, stands up. Yeah, we're doing a stand up.
Any blockers for today, Nico? No blockers. Everything's going really smooth, actually. I'm just feeling very confident about the delivery of this.
Okay.
Well, again, too
Are we allowed to keep working while we're standing up?
No, when you stand up, you can't work while you stand up. That's stand up for a part.
I'd like to say, Marty, you're a blocker in my work right now.
Just now, never before.
I don't want to say it.
Wait till we get back to the office next week. So how confident are we all feeling on, say, a scale of 1 to 7 of completing our projects?
2, 2.5, 12.
5.
We were supposed to finish.
We're apparently doing a game jam. Alright, I'll let you get back to work.
I will say one thing as a bluff, right? is that I know I'm just like being that programmer who's like complaining, but like my project file just didn't generate, and I clicked it to generate, so I have no IntelliSense. I don't know why, but
You really ate your homework.
yeah, right. Thank you.
I would like to show you all my animation frame, Elon Musk, please.
Woo!
Sorry. Right, here we go.
So we're getting into it now, and I can see like some art starting to come up. Someone's cheating on Google Image Search.
It's not me.
Oh, that's that other site that looks exactly like Google Image Search. Yeah, cool.
It's Google Image Search Simulator.
Hey, if they can make that an hour, go nuts. One of the really important things when you are like working in indie studios, it can be really important to be very flexible in the work that we do. Being cross-skilled in different areas can be like vitally important. Don't give me that head shake. So I think it's probably about time that we get everyone to jump up and switch seats.
I knew this was gonna happen.
Yeah.
Deja vu.
Yeah.
That's not what we hold on to.
Who in the audience asked for it?
Really?
Woo!
If we must, shall we?
No. Say, leave the laptop shell.
We're using each other's laptops. We're not just switching seats just for funsies.
How's the program?
So we're going to go in the honor system for this one. You're allowed to switch back when each person has done one thing. Request from the audience. Actually, it's a good thing to do what we're talking about. Request from Emily. Our games now must include a cowboy hat.
We did so well.
Cowboy hat later.
I mean, come on, at least we have the ability for us.
Yeah. I'm just gonna do the matrix.
Extensive research.
Comment the code, Paulina.
Unity crashed.
For those keeping score, I think that's the second Unity crash we've had so far that I've
I
seen.
can make it crash.
I mean,
It's the fill-in tool, Dad. You have to manually fill it in.
I'm just thinking about James, that step 6 is to market our game. Have we considered marketing our game? Yeah. Do you want me to open that up?
The marketing package.
Yeah.
Have you heard of this tool called like fill in?
for Stefan, yes, all the games will be uploaded onto itch.io, regardless of what state they're in.
Are we meant to like make an account? Is that part of the production phase?
No.
Cool, Dan's done, everyone. This is Elon Musk's food.
Where do we learn that?
Oh, did you complete the thing? Did you complete the thing?
What thing?
Yes. I learned how to make games. I'm an expert now.
Teams, you have ish
I will make
minutes left.
What? Okay. 18, right?
You've got some time still.
I'm gonna have nightmares like a bad man.
So, Chaos Grid, what am I looking at on screen right now?
You are looking at the parasite, I believe. Currently 8 of them flying into our little central bug zapper. Would you believe that this game may have worked for all 3 themes?
No. So our teams did know ahead of time what the 3 topics were going to be. They didn't know what the specific topic was. That was mostly because we didn't want to be completely mean to them. Just
We didn't know which one was going to get chosen.
oh, should we do a press kit?
Can I be a press kit? No?
You said I have to make an itch.io account.
No, but press kit, you host yourself.
Yeah.
That's
Shout out
weird.
to, who made press kit? I can't remember.
Do press kit.
Okay, here you go.
New drinking game, take a shot every time Unity crashes. That's called being a game developer. Unity 2020, 2021, or 2022. Don't use 22 yet, it's not ready. 21 is really good for WebGL. 2020 is super stable. If you're doing development for Switch, be careful because they invalidate old versions super quick. Developers don't use the fill tool when doing art.
They weren't using it anyway.
I mean, I'm looking at the art back here. I'm not seeing many fill tools. I'm seeing a Twitter
Just
bird.
used it.
Okay.
Just in the nick of time.
But this is how Dan did it, without the filter.
Maybe I'll say it first.
As
Do we want the nice clean art or do we want the artistic art?
Artistic.
There's really nothing artistic about that.
Do we feel strongly about this that I'm going to make Paulina like destroy what she just made?
Yes.
So,
Give me like a thumbs up, thumbs
This is
down.
Dan's, and this is mine, which is not really that much better. It's just a different color.
So are we
Dan's.
going with Dan's or Paulina's?
Dance!
Wow, am I allowed to touch it up a little bit?
No.
Wow. Why did I
Actually, this might be a great time to ask a question of all our devs. How do you feel when you do a bunch of work on a feature for a game and the feature gets scrapped?
It's never happened, baby.
Yet.
Yeah. It's heart-wrenching. We've worked on it for months. It's heart-wrenching.
Actually, Ben's put a question here. Incorporate the logo for your studio into the game. I'm going to tweak that a little bit. I'm going to say it has to be the horsey logo from Noble Steed Games.
Nice.
Because we've only been around since Friday, so you know, we need a little press week to get it. Yeah, I think making the teams completely pivot at this point in time is a little mean.
Oh, really? Just get
Maybe.
one thing in, right?
Yeah.
How's everyone feeling? We're all feeling like nice and hydrated. We're feeling refreshed.
I have no idea what I'm doing. And I don't think it's going to go into the game. I don't think I have
Keep
time.
going. No, it's check it on. It's just
Let's
a
get
slight
this
spot.
game.
Actually, would you all agree that, especially for indie studios, marketing is vitally important to what we do? Like getting the awareness out there, getting our name out there, making sure people know about our games.
I learned about that maybe 10 minutes ago when I was Googling how to make games. And apparently, step 6, market your game. I was not aware.
Is it? Are you guys on the floor downstairs? Just be safe. Yeah, maybe. Well, it's obviously, as an indie, it's really important to make sure that everyone we get as much exposure as we can for our games. And I was a little worried that there might be some people outside that aren't aware the Survivor game jam is going on right now. So I think one volunteer from each team should go outside and just start yelling about Survivor game jam just to make sure that everyone's aware of it. Do we have any volunteers?
Soon, can I just put my work onto a USB?
No.
Do it.
No.
Run.
Can I ask another audience participation question?
Maybe.
Okay, so we've got things that Elon eats, like this Tweety bird, and then Elon's enemies. Would you say Elon's enemies are tax?
The working class.
Sorry?
The working class.
Okay.
Gasoline.
Public transport.
There's a lot of enemies going on. What?
We're just gonna.
Squats.
Facebook.
Bots.
Bots. Oh, okay.
I mean, for the game devs in the room, do we want to critique Chaos Theory's code? So I've seen some interesting ideas there.
I've acknowledged my failures.
Do you have any other questions?
A lot of answers.
How long do we have?
15 minutes.
15 minutes.
Yeah.
15 minutes.
Well, we're getting kicked out in 19 minutes, and we should probably like show the games off before then.
Not yet.
Like everyone put the Unity window in the top left quarter of the screen. So does that mean only use like a quarter of the screen for Unity? Whoever is? Okay, yeah, we can do that. So you guys have to it's actually easy to use half the screen. So you can only use half your screen now. So you just drag your window across.
I'm the cult today.
Yeah.
Like that.
Yeah, but you can only use one. You can't have both. That's cheap. You don't use
Actually, that's an improvement.
And then just so the audience knows what we're doing, can everyone just hold their laptops up and turn them around so everyone can see?
Like this. Thank you.
Nice backgrounds.
Actually, we probably should have checked that no one had like things on their desktops that shouldn't be on their
We
desktops.
already won them.
I'm pretty sure I don't have anything on my. Yeah, there's nothing there. That probably shouldn't be there.
I don't know what that means.
Yeah, we're going to deduct points for chaos theory for using the old Unity input system. I'm sorry, rewired is right there.
Great. Done.
I actually googled this again yesterday to realize how difficult the new input system was and decided not for this game jam.
There was a suggestion that our team should commandeer a booth downstairs to show off the games on the show floor. I believe DragonBear is already doing this.
Yeah.
They're going to just like put Enchanted away for the rest of the weekend and put this up there.
Sweet, yeah.
Cool. So how should I use Speed? Do you want me to stream it all?
No, I think we decided again, so this is...
Whose screen would we like to see next? DragonBear or Noble Steed?
We can do a vote, I guess.
Yeah. Cheer for Noble Steed? Cheer for DragonBear? Cheer for Anne? Cheer for the enforcers up the back. So the winner of Survivor Game Jam is the enforcers.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay, so we need help in the next 10 minutes.
I think it's probably not helpful, but I really want to listen.
Question from Paulina, how do you use a USB?
What you do is you can't plug in.
What is USB?
Okay, there we go.
Big cheer for the USB stick.
Plug it in.
We do have a question for the artists. What do you think about expensive art courses? How do you recommend learning? Artists?
No strong opinions. It'll be whatever you get out of it. So just the trick to becoming good at art is practicing and doing a lot of art. And an expensive art course isn't going to make you a good artist, but it can often provide you good opportunity to work on really cool projects. And like, there's an effect of if you spend $20,000 on a course, then you're more motivated to actually take advantage of it. So there are pros and cons, but I'd say my number one recommendation would be draw every day and draw from life. Draw from real world reference. Don't just draw from your imagination or from other people's art. Developing those sort of fundamental skills makes you a better artist. Any follow-up questions?
I'd love to go just down the line, just super quick, because there's a time limit. How you got started in the games industry, and any advice you might have for someone who wanted to get into game development?
Yes. I just started modding games when I was 12, and because I just wanted to, it was fun, and because we used to play multiplayer games, and I wanted to have a ship that I shouldn't have in Freelancer. I wanted to have a Kusari battleship, and so I modded it to have one. And then I just kept doing it, and I just kept doing it, and then here I am. But what I will say, advice-wise, is that everybody in their mind has, and their body has a dopamine release system that is geared towards whatever you do epigenetically. So if you do something, then you will just over time exponentially become that thing that you keep doing, you know, because those cells are the ones that replicate. So if you find joy from problem solving and find joy from expressing yourself, then over time you will just continue to gear yourself towards expressing yourself and problem solving. And then you will just naturally become that thing. So just rewire your dopamine system and practice it, and then you'll become like a god at what you do. Yeah.
Grant, how do you get into games?
Just look for it. Back when I was like 10, there were tutorials to make MMOs using really weird, misbegotten engines that nobody's heard about, and using languages that nobody has ever used. So you just look for it, make stuff, continue making stuff, and you'll be able to do it. It's exactly the thing as
Exactly.
Yeah, it's exactly the thing as Shell said.
Please don't try to make an MMO for your first game. Please don't try to make an MMO for your first. Second game, fine.
I still try to make MMOs.
Yeah. Everything yields something intangible. Make an MMO and fail, and you'll still learn something.
Yeah.
How did I get into games? Accidentally. Honestly. I started, I guess, I was really into music, and I ran into an accidental Unreal course, and thought I can make a music game with this and teach people how to make music. And never did that, but I just fell in love with the process and just absolutely love making games. And then just went to the events and met people through that. And they said, you know, we are looking for someone who knows how to do AI, and you had to do AI at the time. And now I'm still here with them. So yeah, that was a few years ago. Accidentally, just go to events, talk to people, be curious, be interested. That's how I did it.
Nice. Don't do it my way, which was to start your own studio, is what I would recommend. Actually, I've been making games since I was a kid, just in Excel, like whatever. You probably make games all day long in your mind and on the playground and everything. So it just made sense that at some point in my life I was like, actually I just feel like something a bit more creative. And so we made a small game and we made a prototype, and then it kind of grew from there. And 4 years later I still haven't released it, but we're very close. But I would say, yeah, a lot of just online learning and meeting other people that have similar interests, and just kind of expanding your mind about what you want to do and how you want to do it is a cool way to think about games, yeah, and how you get into it.
I didn't know.
Chaos Theory done yet?
We were childhood friends when we were about 10 years old, and always knew that we wanted to be making games together. So we kind of named the studio when we were 12.
What? That's beautiful.
And we didn't know how to make games, but we did a lot of game design and just like filling out ideas in books and being like, oh my god, we're gonna make this really cool game called Scope and Crank, which is definitely not a knockoff of Ratchet and Clank. we were just into games and designed our own world. Eventually figured out that we needed to become software developers in order to make that happen. And yeah, started a studio together, made games. I think I haven't really been listening to what everybody else has been saying. We're trying to make a game, but I believe I heard people saying make games is the way to get better at making games, and definitely agree with that. I disagree that you shouldn't make an MMO for your first game. I think everybody should try it, because then you crash and you burn, and then you know what is actually achievable. And we went through the process of like designing very, very ambitious ideas, and they're like, oh, we'll put a pin in that one, we'll come back to that one. And we did that like 6 or 7 times until we had something that was really, really scoped down and achievable. So if you want to design an MMO, go for it, but you're probably not going to build it. That's the only caveat I'd say.
Yeah, cool one.
They post it.
Clearly, I'm the only one who's been burnt trying to build an MMO.
It's easy. There are just like asset store plugins for that, right? Just like MMO.
MMO is actually really good. And it's
Yeah.
element, so it's working. Teams, you have about 5 minutes left.
Okay, I actually did make a press kit.
God.
That's just showing off.
I thought it was for real, it wasn't one.
Yeah, but you've got a problem. There's still suggestions coming in from the audience. And there's a really juicy one here. So does everyone know, so juicy in games is like adding a lot of effects, a lot of, bloom, post-processing. And I think these games are at the point where they just need that little bit of juice. So I think we want to see some post-processing.
Let's do it.
And some lens flares.
Like ambient and
Yeah, absolutely. Or at least throw a trail renderer in there somewhere.
I think we need ray tracing. We have some screen shake.
I have a long rant on that, but I don't have it. Hit me up afterwards, I'll give you a ray tracing rant.
Where do I send the press kit?
Actually, I've got some contacts at Nintendo. Actually, really good question for whoever wants to make a big call and we're in the mood to answer a question. How do you find quality creators for everything non-programming related? Art, music, FX, voice acting?
Thank you.
Acronyms are my thing, actually. Yeah.
Who's using a singleton?
Woo!
Yes, Eagles. Yeah, for singletons.
Oh, sorry, and another really good place to start is game jams. Like, global game jams are really, really cool thing to do. Yeah, and meet people.
Ludum Dare is really awesome for like game jams as well. I don't know when that runs.
Is it Ludum Dare? I thought it was Ludum Dare.
Anyone? Cool, I'm going with Olmec. I don't get to be right very often, so. Alright, so. Okay.
I didn't mean to do that.
So we're getting very dangerously close to being time.
Oh my god.
Is anyone confident in showing off their game? Or their press kit?
No responsibility.
No.
Obviously, your homework, huh? Sorry.
Although this is this is 100% legit for like game development. When you need your internet connection, it will go down. When you need. When we were prepping for PAX 2019, I may have crashed in that through. Apologies for that, everyone.
Okay, I'll read you my press kit. Parasite. Sorry, I'll do my voice acting voice. Parasite is a survivor game about the world's biggest parasite and the things that he eats and is afraid of. According to audience polls, he eats tweets, child slaves, blood emeralds, and Bitcoin. There is always a bigger parasite for Elon. Paying tax, gasoline, and corporate responsibilities are things that he's afraid of. The game by DragonBear.
That is time.
No.
Alright. First of all, can I please get a huge round of applause for our 3 teams? Making games is incredibly fun, but it's also very, very hard. Making games in an hour is stupid. And making games in an hour when you've got people annoying you on the microphone for an hour is insane. So congratulations to everyone. I've seen a lot of code and a lot of art assets being created. So let's see if we can see some games now. So who'd like to?
Oh my god.
Oh, we're ready to go. Yeah, all right, Dan can go first.
No, let's go.
Are we coming this way? Work until.
Yes, keep working. No. Well, we can. We can make that later.
And don't forget, we will be getting the audience to vote on the 3 games to find out who will be the winner of Survivor Game Jam 2.0 and taking home the prestigious trophy. The trophy.
Oh.
So I might talk through what's going on here. It's not obvious. In fact, it's going to be easier if I don't maximize. If we can see like the editor, we can see the camera moving around. So this is actually what's happening at the top. You can see we're moving around. We're trying to escape responsibility while going towards Twitter. And that's our game. And the best part about this is when you get hit by responsibility, the game crashes.
I can use an excuse for all my game crashes moving forward.
What's the title?
No idea what I'm going to say.
Musk parasite.
What platforms will this be released on?
Switch, actually all current gen and next gen. We're already prepping for the. Say again.
You got a Game Boy Advance for it?
Give me a minute.
VR?
And also, of course, Stadia.
And of course, if you need a porting partner, Noble Steed Games is a consultancy mate there. I'll give you a business card later. Alright, go for guys.
So what we have here is Teddy Roosevelt's 7-head inside a bug zapper. And the goal is to defend against the mosquitoes by zapping them. I think you've got a limited resource in there somewhere. And Teddy Roosevelt's kind of skin color is a health bar to represent how well you do. And there's also bloom in there, post-processing effects made it in. So. And I also made some art that didn't make it into the game. Surprise.
Can we see this art?
Put it in the collector's edition.
It's a little mosquito.
So this is what people in the industry call the DLC.
Day one patch.
Oh, just throw it in a loot box, it'll be fine.
What's the title?
Getting ahead.
We have tried using HDMI splitters, they just don't work. So. That's a good looking cube.
I know.
I describe Laura as a hexagon.
Maybe using an auto camera by mistake.
Well, sadly, we haven't been able to merge all of our work.
Yeah, we have separate projects.
Separate projects right now.
So we made 2 games.
So we made
They made 1 game.
So
We made
really,
2 games.
A puzzle game.
double the votes that we get. So yeah, basically, on my side of things, I was just to make the creepy crawly part of things, and Shell was supposed to make it look really good. But right now, all I've got is the creepy crawly things. If my Mac will look, please do something. It would be really good if you would do something.
You need a camera in the scene.
I know.
They use cameras in uni, that's
Oh my god. Take as long as you need.
We aimed for the stars, and we clearly didn't go far enough.
You deleted your main camera.
Yeah, I did. I'm sorry. The circle little thing is supposed to be the player. All of the other things are just the creepy crawly parasites trying to go and kill it, of course. And yeah, they were supposed to just kind of crawl around and interact with each other, but we clearly didn't get around to the interaction. We got to the damaging part, if any of them ever touch each other. But they're all very introverted. But yeah, that's all I've got on my screen so far. Only we could get Shell's screen up.
COVID safe.
I don't want to.
Would you like to see Joel's screen?
Alright, let's
Would you like to see Joel's screen?
If you really want to see my screen. I'm a little shy, but
This is what our bugs
we'll
will
take it
supposed to look
slow.
like.
Okay. It's not working the way I wanted. But here's my like creature that was gonna kill the bugs. Full disclosure, I'm using like some audio processing things and also color processing, which clearly isn't working. But I'm using LASP, which is audio spectrum analyzing, and you can see that it can hear me. And
Oh my god.
I'm
That's so
processing
cool.
the sound spectrum, and then I'm turning it into these these shapes. If I can just get oh my god, these log values aren't working. No
So
wonder.
if the audience makes a lot of noise right now, we should see it on the screen, right?
No, actually, the log values aren't working. But you can see here that it's pulling in. It's meant to be using the audio spectrum to create the sphere and to move through the color range. And then, so we were gonna maybe I came up with an idea that would work for Light is Dangerous too. Okay. And then the spikes are generated from the audio spectrum as well. So I should be able to basically use these little lances, if it's working correctly, which it isn't, to then spike these little creatures that Grant made. And in an ideal world, that's what we would have. Maybe on the itch.io page, that's what we'll have.
To be continued.
Yes.
That's deserved for the Game of the Year edition.
What's the title?
The title? Oh.
Parasites is dangerous.
I was thinking the title could be everyone in our generation is all processing the trauma of COVID still in their own ways, and that doesn't get enough airtime. Here's my little virtual virus.
Alright. So
Introverted insects.
Yes,
I like it.
I connect with that, to be honest.
Can I get another round of applause for our great... Which brings us to the most important part of any game jam, picking the winners. In my books, you're all winners,
Thank you.
but unfortunately the world doesn't work that way. So, based on volume, who believes that our winners today are Chaos Theory Games? DragonBear Studios? Noble Steed Games? So, I think it's between the first two. So, once again, Chaos Theory? Ladies and gentlemen, the winners of Survivor Game Jam 2.0, DragonBear Studios.
Yay!
It says Primrose Park Tennis Camp Singles Winner. Crossed out, it says Game Jam.
Yay!
Thank you for joining us. An enjoyable look to behind the scenes of what making games can be like. Please follow all of our competitors on Twitter or Instagram, I don't know, I'm old, TikTok.
None of them.
Nice one.